interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey! How is everybody? Is everybody doing okay? Hopefully everybody is doing just fine. It still feels like a Monday, even though I know it is Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing okay. Kendra, you knew what it was. I had to pull out the Black History Month. I'm gonna wear it out. Because it's Black History Month every day over here. Every day. Not every day, but every day. Right, UFO. Purple rain. Purple rain. It is a Monday-ish Tuesday. I hate when there's a second Monday. That's what I call Tuesdays that feel like Monday. It's the second Monday. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about Black women being tokens and pawns. Put a 1 in the chat if you know that number 46, your president, is intending on nominating specifically a woman of color to fill the seat for Stephen Breyer, who's retiring out of the Supreme Court justice seat. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what's going on with that. Thank you, Pound for Pound. So nice to catch you today. What's in the pot? Oh, we got some mobility in the pot today. Said not your president. Said it's not your president, but okay. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this token and pawn game. Cause see, I don't think that the vast majority of Black women as a group understand the game that get played on them. See, they used to play the game once every couple of decades. Now they playing the game once a month with you and you still falling for it. They did this with Kamala Harris. I always have it on there. 1 second. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay now. Thank you, Red, White, and Blue, for letting me know. No, it's okay. I'd rather be told than not told and sit here for an hour with it on my teeth. So I'm good. So they did this with Kamala. When they were running, why do you think Biden chose her to be on the ticket with him? Because it would get Black women on board. It would get you. If she identified with being Black, which she don't. The reality is Kamala Harris does not identify as a black woman. Thank you, red, white, and blue. She doesn't identify as a black woman. She identifies as an Indian woman. Okay? She was black for the time being to get the vote through because she was on a ticket to get y'all idiots to go down there and overwhelmingly vote for them. She was black for that purpose. She was, you know what I'm saying, a AKA for that purpose. She was running around here talking about she wanted freedom for the purposes of reeling you in as a group of black women because y'all are going to cheer her on. Y'all gonna fall for the okie doke. Every time. She don't identify as a black woman. And she not married to a black man. Y'all really love that. Y'all really love that. Oh, she got her a white man. That's success to y'all. I know y'all like that. But we're really going to get into a little bit from each of these ladies because there are 6 possibles, but I had an article that sort of ranks them in order of most likely to least likely to be nominated for the seat. And listen, this isn't even necessarily a knock on the women themselves in the sense of whether or not they're qualified to take that seat. Because I would imagine that many people who get into the field of law and who look to become a judge would like to become one of the Supreme Court justices because you don't leave that seat unless you retire or you pass away. So it's pretty much a guaranteed job. Once you get nominated for the seat and you win the seat, that's like for life. You set for life pretty much. It would have to be some very catastrophic stuff going on to remove a Supreme Court justice from the seat forcibly. Thank you, Franklin. So basically the seat is being vacated by Justice Breyer because he's old now and he wants to retire. So this is how the seat even is becoming vacant in order for somebody to be nominated to it in the first place. So I need my likes up. I got 277 people. I got 134 likes. So bam, 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 bam. You gotta get the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta So come on and hit the like button so we can go ahead and get into it because one of these ladies is real interesting. So what we're gonna do is we are going to read an article here about black women cheering this on. They don't even know what they cheering on, but we're going to share the screen. They have no idea what they cheering for. Just anybody that halfway look black. Now, when it's something bad. Now, here's the one thing I want y'all to understand. See, this is why black women got to knock it off. And this is why I don't. Okay, before I get into that, I got a ever so slightly a rant. I got ever so slightly a rant that I'm going to go on real quick. This is why, thank you, Ed Davey. This is why I don't pay attention to nobody jumping in my comment section when I'm talking about a woman who might be biracial and I call her black, especially if her daddy black, and I call her black, or I equate something that she's doing like Danny Lay to something that black girls get caught up doing all the time. This is why I don't pay no attention to y'all talking about, well, she not black, so you can't use that as an example. When black women are black, when the gynocracy say they black, when it's something that they want to celebrate and get behind, that's when biracial women become black women. That's why Meghan Markle black. Meghan Markle is not black because people are what their fathers are, and Meghan Markle daddy white. So Meghan Markle is white, which is why she was even invited to marry into the royal family to begin with. She white. And don't try to act like you don't know your baby is what your daddy is, because that's why a lot of y'all be calling yourself trying to get with a Hispanic man or Asian man or any non-black man, because you want your baby to what? Look like that other ethnicity. Boop. That's why you want your babies with light eyes and good hair, because you know that your child is whatever the father is. Keep that in mind as we read. Okay. Activists prepared to cheer and fight if necessary for a black female Supreme Court nominee. Now they trying to act like Biden didn't just say that's what he was going to do in the first place. Now they trying to act like they really are somewhere fighting for it. But anyway, black women activists buoyed by news that President Biden will nominate a black woman to replace retiring Justice Stephen G. Breyer on the Supreme Court says it's long overdue that they are mobilizing to make sure the historic opportunity becomes a reality. I'm excited, and everybody I know is excited. Melanie Campbell, president of the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation, said Thursday after Biden stated his commitment at a White House news conference. Even though we've had people who were ready, who had the qualifications and the exceptional resumes, there's never been a black woman. It's well past time, right? That excitement is also being channeled into plans to rally support among black women and allies to help the eventual nominee, Campbell said. There's always a fight with nominations. Hopefully we won't have to, but black women are mobilizing in various ways to help the president with this nomination. Then you got Simone, the linebacker Sanders, talking about a great day to be a black woman in America with a Juris Doctorate. When Biden made the pledge to nominate a black woman to the high court during a debate in South Carolina in February of 2020, Campbell said it was refreshing to hear this candidate who needed black women's vote understand our power and our role in progressives being elected. Representative Joyce Beatty, shown here, chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, also remembered that moment. I will never forget how meaningful it was to hear then candidate Biden announce to the world that he intended to appoint a black woman to our nation's highest court should there be a vacancy during his presidency. And it's like, y'all be happy just to hear Zaddy say anything, you know what I'm saying, that might be halfway to your benefit or halfway to, y'all like these little sentimental, you know what I'm saying, little tokens of, y'all like these butter biscuits. That's what I should have named this live stream. Why black women like butter biscuits so much. Y'all love anything that fall from Zaddy table with a little slather of butter on it. Anyway, Beatty said in a statement Wednesday, Beatty said she would continue to push to ensure that the president upholds his promise to the American people and that the Senate confirms a black woman to the Supreme Court without any unnecessary delay. So you gonna fight for that. Anyway, House Majority Whip James E. Clyburn pushed Biden to make the announcement in the Palmetto State, where black women make up a majority of the Democratic electorate. Biden's strong showing in the state's primary quelled concerns about his viability after poor performances in New Hampshire, Iowa, and Nevada. Campbell organized petitions and letter-writing campaigns in 2010 and 2016, urging the then President Barack Obama to nominate a black female jurist. He instead tapped Elena Kagan, a former Solicitor General and Dean of Harvard Law, who was confirmed in 2010, and Merrick Garland, a chief judge of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit, who was denied a hearing or vote on his nomination by then Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. In 2009, Obama appointed Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is of Puerto Rican descent, as the first woman of color and first Hispanic on the court. 5 women have sat in the court in its 232-year history. Campbell, who also is the convener of the Black Women's Roundtable, a network of nonpartisan activists around the country who register and mobilize black voters, said black women have earned a seat on the high court through their steadfast participation in elections, turning out in high numbers to support Democratic candidates. So basically, we done mule for y'all for so long. You need to give us these little butter biscuit crumbs so that we can feel like all of our muling for the Democratic Party has not been in vain. That's what that means. Nominating a black woman for the Supreme Court would be second historic choice for Biden, who chose Kamala Harris, the first woman and black and Asian American, as his running mate. She ain't black. Anyway, Janice Mathis, executive director of the National Council of Negro Women, one of the groups that joined in Campbell's lobbying campaigns during the Obama administration, said she expects Biden to keep his word, but is concerned about opposition from those who don't want to see a black woman on the Supreme Court. Some conservatives already are criticizing Biden, claiming he is focusing on race and gender over qualifications. And black women should also be concerned that one is being chosen based on identity politics, not whether or not she's truly qualified for the position that she's being nominated to potentially. Anyway, on Wednesday night, Ilya Shapiro, executive director and senior lecturer at the Georgetown Center for the Constitution, tweeted the name of an Indian American candidate who said he objectively would be the best pick. But he added that he also doesn't fit into the latest intersectionality hierarchy, so we'll get lesser black woman. Oh, whoa. He came on out with it, didn't he? Tell us how you really feel, bro. Said following a black backlash, Shapiro deleted the comment and apologized for what he described as an inartful tweet. Mathis says she and other women are preparing to organize against efforts to block a black female nominee. We're going to mobilize and educate people who feel the same way we do and make sure they know what's happening so they can be in touch with their representatives. Nadia Brown, a professor of government and director of women and gender studies at Georgetown University, a gynocrat, said Biden's nomination of a black woman to the court could energize the Democratic base ahead of this year's midterm elections. She noted recent polls that show disillusionment with Biden among Democratic voters, and black activists have leveled harsh criticism at him for being unable to get voting rights legislation passed. Earlier this month, voting rights groups represent black, Latino, and Asian American communities boycotted what was billed as a major voting rights speech by Biden in Atlanta, where he called out Republicans for continuing to block federal voting protection. The Supreme Court nomination would show the Biden administration's commitment to black voters, that they recognize that black voters are the ones that took them to the White House, helped them to get there. And now that they know that they're going to be key to making sure that the Biden agenda has a chance at passing. So y'all trying to hold people accountable for what they say, but little do y'all realize y'all can't hold nobody accountable because they do what they want to do. Anyway, this is almost done. Latasha Brown, co-founder of the Georgia-based Black Voters Matter, was one of the activists who skipped Biden's speech because she doesn't think he has been forceful and focused enough on getting voting rights legislation passed. She said it would be important for him to choose a black woman who has a strong depth of understanding, knowledge, and support for voting rights and civil rights in this country. What I'm hoping is that he has the courage to make a bold pick, not someone that will appease the Republicans. I'm serious. I think if there's any point in time that we needed a Thurgood Marshall, it's now. Listen, her being black isn't good enough. We need somebody with the depth of civil rights and voting rights experience in light of this attack on democracy right now. She cited Sherilyn Ifill, who recently stepped down as the president and director counsel of the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, whose name has been mentioned along with several black female judges. Judith Brown Dionis remembers watching television in tears as Clarence Thomas was confirmed as a Supreme Court justice in '91. She was about to graduate from Columbia Law School, and she vowed she would not become a member of the Supreme Court bar as long as Thomas sat on the court. In addition to the allegations of, did y'all hear that? She was about to graduate from Columbia Law School, and she vowed she would not become a member of the Supreme Court bar as long as Thomas sat on the court. Now, if y'all recall, Clarence Thomas was accused by, what was her name? Anita. What was her last name? Anita. Somebody put her last name in the chat for me. He was accused of inappropriate. Anita Hill, thank you. He was accused of inappropriate comments and sexual harassment, and that was a whole trial, if y'all recall. So I'm imagining this is why this chick is sitting up there talking about she was crying and vowed she wouldn't become a member of the bar as long as he sat in the court. Anyway, always gotta some way gotta throw a black man under the bus and let him get ran over. But anyway, In addition to the allegations of sexual harassment against Thomas, there was also a sense and a recognition that he could not fill the shoes of Justice Marshall because he had no appreciation for civil rights. And these women do, that we're about to talk about. Huh. Marshall, a civil rights activist and founder of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, was the first black justice. He served from 1967 to 1991. But if a black woman were to be seated, Brown Deanna says she would strongly reconsider her 30-year protest. Y'all hearing this gynocratic rhetoric? Anyway, Brown Deanna, a civil rights lawyer and executive director of the Advancement Project, said even though conservatives would maintain a 6-3 advantage, a black woman on the panel would make a difference. A black woman on the bench will bring her experience, her sense of justice and fairness, her sense of the history of this country and the principles of the Constitution in ways that will be different from the other experiences that are sitting there today. So I guess a black man wouldn't have been able to do that. See how they imply that black men just aren't worthy? How many black male justices would actually be a better pick? Anyway, a strong liberal voice also could add value to the body's discussions, deliberations, and decisions. So we basically got to have an intersectionally feminist-based driven, liberal identity politics driven chick on that body. It makes a difference because of the questions that will be asked of lawyers who are standing in front of the court. It makes a difference, too, because there are deliberations and there are conversations that happen behind closed doors between justices in which there are important lessons to get learned in those rooms, she said. And lastly, we always know, like Justice Sotomayor is one of them, that a good dissent is important because it puts a marker down around these issues and gives us the lessons of how we really should be interpreting the law. Although some black supporters at the time argued that once on the court, Thomas, who grew up in the segregated South, would be an advocate for addressing historical and ongoing discrimination, Brown Deanna said that Thomas, who was appointed by George H.W. Bush, which is W's father, to replace Marshall, has not represented black folks in terms of an acknowledgement of civil rights and the unconstitutional wrongs that have been thrust upon black people. And these gynocrats are going to do it. Elevating a black woman to justice is the moment to right that wrong of him being appointed to the Supreme Court, or at least to balance it out. Are y'all hearing this? I just need to know how many people are listening to me. Thank you, Cosmo Shit. I'm so sorry for missing these super chats because I'm reading and carrying on. Thank you, Chris Linder. Thank you, Too Tall. Okay, and anybody else that I missed, I am a pop. But is y'all hearing this? You right, Torian. We gonna get to Miss Leandra Krueger. We gonna get to her. But are y'all hearing how we can just balance it out? Thank you, pound for pound. Knock it off. I got 510 people watching, but I only got 290 likes. We gonna get the likes up. Anyway, let me get back to this article real quick. Oh, that was it. I thought it was a little bit more. Okay. So let me come back to y'all for a moment. For a real quick moment. I hate when I accidentally click this thing. But in any case, let me come back to y'all real quick. Always gotta throw a black man under the bus. But I can't even really focus on that part too tough right now. It's so many things to focus on. I'm going to start with Ketanji Brown Jackson, which is one of the 6 possible black women. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Leandra Krueger, who is not black, J. Michelle Childs, Anita Earls, Wilhelmina Wright, and Melissa Murray are the 6, what we would say, top contenders to replace Justice Breyer. Okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about Miss Ketanji. Now, mind you, thank you, Lou. All of them is married to zaddies. All the ones that I took a look at, all married, especially those first three. All got zaddies. Married to. Let's take Ketanji. When I took a look at Ketanji Brown Jackson, okay, she was born in D.C., raised in Miami. Both parents were graduates from HBCUs, okay? And she grew up in Miami. Currently, she is serving at in the courts of D.C., which is usually where they pick the nominees from most of the time anyway, right? Okay, so her father was an attorney. So we can see where she got inspiration to go into law, okay? Because her father was an attorney for the Miami-Dade School Board, okay? And so she graduated from Harvard University, all right, with, how do you say it, magna cum laude? Okay. So now, here are some other things. When you take a look at her notable rulings, I didn't see anything that was necessarily bolstering Black people or the Black community. I didn't see anything of her notable rulings within the past few years that said to me she had an understanding of civil rights, of the history of Black people in this country, or that she was going to utilize her position or had been utilizing her position in order to serve and uplift or do anything in particular for Black people, for Black women, for the Black community. I saw nothing. I don't know if anybody else know anything about her, but I didn't see anything. Because when I took a look at her notable rulings, a lot of it had to do with the Department of Agriculture rulings, the FDA ruling in favor of pharmaceutical companies. Okay? Ruling against labor unions. But what I didn't see was something that said, oh, okay, she ruled in favor of a Black person or a entity that served Black people, or she didn't go against something that was unconstitutional against Black people. I saw nothing. Let's talk about it a little bit more. First, let's get these likes up. I got 578 people, but I only got 378 likes, so I'm a good 200 likes down. So bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta I know it's riveting, but please hit the like button. I'm gonna go ahead and go to commercial break. I'm gonna be back, and we're gonna talk about Miss Brown Jackson's link.
See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert, always prepared for whatever. I see you. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She be killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting them socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven to get some milk.
Okay, we back. Now, in this woman's personal life, she is under the guidance, the leadership, and the SOS of a zaddy. In her personal life, that's her husband. Just like Kamala Harris, not under the leadership, guidance, or support of a black man or the black community. How you come from two parents that's black, not particularly raised around anywhere white, and you come up with a zaddy? But who is this man? Who is this man? She's married to a man named Patrick G. Jackson, who is a surgeon. He's also the brother-in-law to the former Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan's wife, Jenna Ryan. Strings pulled? Can we say gatekeeping? Oh, you got a connection. Okay, we can throw you in the pool. Thank you, pound for pound. Thank you, pound for pound. Thank you, Philip J. Say no different from what black women do now. The board gets real, and no matter what, if she's black, she's good. No research background, nothing. We'll never learn. Banana in the tailpipe. Exactly. Always the banana in the tailpipe trick. So there's a connection. Oh, your husband is the brother-in-law of Jenna Ryan, who's the wife of the former Speaker of the House. Oh, okay. Oh, we see you. Put her name on there. She probably the most likely to be nominated now. Put her at the top. We'll throw some more in. But there's a good runner-up. There's a real good runner-up. Let's take a look at Miss Leandra Krueger. See, these are the two that's on my thumbnail. Ketanji Brown Jackson and Leandra are on my thumbnail. Now, when we take a look at Miss Leandra, she grew up in Glendale, California. Well, she was born in Glendale. She grew up in South Pasadena. Her mother is a Jamaican immigrant. Her father is an American Yahud whose parents immigrated from Europe. Y'all know what is a Yahud. Do y'all recognize that word, a Yahud? A Jew. Yes? Just so y'all can understand that word. BK Bourne said small hats. Oh, Luke Casely is familiar. Okay, your husband's Syrian. Yeah, he would use that word, a Yahud. So this is where this woman grew up. Okay, Father Sam says South Pasadena is one of the richest spots in the country. That's good to know, which makes plenty of sense. Both parents were physicians. Okay, she attended a private school called, she attended Polytechnic School, which is a private school. She wrote for the Harvard Crimson and graduated from Harvard University. She's a member of Phi Beta Kappa and graduated with a Juris Doctorate from Yale. So she graduated with a bachelor's from Harvard. Okay? Let's take a look at some of the other stuff. She's married to a man named Brian Houck. Brian Houck Jenner, a partner at a firm called Jenner and Block in San Francisco. I'm going to read a small excerpt, and I want y'all to pay very close attention to this. And you tell me if she has any allegiances to black women or black people at all. As President Joe Biden made a campaign pledge to appoint the first African-American woman to the United States Supreme Court, Krueger became the subject of speculation as a future court nominee. If she replaces Justice Stephen Breyer, she would also continue the tradition of the court's, quote, Jewish seat. While Justice Elena Kagan is also Jewish, remember, she was appointed by, I believe, in the Obama administration, right? While Justice Elena Kagan is also Jewish, Breyer sits in a seat historically assigned to a Jew for a large part of the past 100 years. The seat was held by Benjamin Cardozo, Felix Frankfurter, Arthur Goldberg, A. Fortas, and Breyer, but also was occupied from 1970 to 1994 by the Methodist Harry Blackman. Do y'all understand the implication of that? Do y'all understand that this woman is not black and she don't identify as black? She's going to be, if she's nominated, the sticking point for her, the gold star for her, is that she's going to be able to uphold a legacy, a tradition of keeping a Yahud on the Supreme Court bench. Has nothing to do with black women. She don't even identify with y'all. She don't identify with black women's causes. She don't identify with the history of black women in this country, black men, black nothing. Her mother was an immigrant, a Jamaican immigrant, didn't grow up here. Her father had no experience being black because he ain't black. They didn't raise her in a black area, so she's not culturally black. Are y'all understanding this? I thought she was actually the most interesting one to be put in the seat or nominated for the seat under the guise and under the umbrella of being a black woman just because she got a little bit of melanin on her. But she don't identify with blackness. She's another Kamala. Don't identify with no blackness. Would use a black man or a black person for a come up like Kamala did. Use that mayor for a come up, and once she was able to get and jumpstart her career to where she wanted, she acted like she didn't know that man and didn't owe him nothing. And y'all are running around here trying to make sure that he nominate at least one of these women so that y'all can have a little feather in y'all collective cap about women that don't even identify with you. So if she gets in the seat, what makes black women anywhere think that these women are going to make rulings and have a big sway and influence about cases and rulings that are going to benefit black men, women, or children in this country when they don't even identify with it? Thank you, Torian. So Leandra Krueger was also responsible for overturning the D sentence of a convicted double murderer with dub S ties. Okay. So then we see where these people are operating, how these people are operating. We understand that these people have no tie. They have no allegiances to black people or black women. So why are black women fighting for them? Why do they think nominating these women is going to do something for them? And this is how they use you as tokens and pawns to further the agenda. Here are some of the things that they're furthering. First of all, consistently giving black women higher status in the area of mobility above black men. Like I said, so there's not one black male justice that's qualified. If they're gonna keep a small hat seat, why come we can't keep a black male seat for historical purposes, for legacy purposes? Why we can't keep that? Could somebody block Kendra, please? Just block them. Thank you. Since we talking about legacies, why come we can't keep the Thurgood Marshall legacy? Have at minimum one black male justice on the Supreme Court body. See, these black women want to identify with black men when they want to be interchangeable with black men. Oh, just as long as somebody black get on the seat, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. But when it's a woman, they champion the fact that it's a woman and not a man. Just like we read in that article, she had a protest because Clarence Thomas was on the seat. Like somebody care about your protest because you don't like Clarence Thomas, because you believed Anita Hill. I was young back then when that trial was going on, and it sounded stupid to me. Because even though I was young, I kind of sat and listened to a little bit of that. Like, So anything to put black women in a higher position in mobility than black men. And the read how they do it is to first co-opt the challenges that face black men specifically and not black women. They co-opt that trouble. Do y'all understand that? They co-opt the struggle of black men. Once they co-opt the struggle of black men by saying, well, we all black people going through this. So for this purpose, we will identify with black men. Thank you, Light Seeker. Amber Geiger protected by a black female judge. Exactly. They're going to be gatekeepers for WS. They're not going to do anything for black people. So first they co-opt the struggle of black men. Well, we black people, so what black men go through, black women are also going through, which is cap, because actually black women are having a much different experience in this country than black men are having. That's number one. Then once it's like, oh, well, yeah, we use that language, this all-inclusive black people language to get black women to be put in positions, because it doesn't matter which black person you pick, just as long as you pick somebody black. Well, you know, why not pick a black woman? You know, we can pick, you know. And once it's a black woman, because I guarantee you, I promise you, nobody would be rallying in support of a black male justice being nominated. Had Biden said, I'm going to make sure to choose a black male justice, we wouldn't have these gynocrats out here talking about they ready to mobilize to support the black man. Thank you, 39 Dina. They would be somewhere mad. Okay. Why come it couldn't have been a black woman? Or if it had been, they'd have thought of some type of slander to throw on his name. They'd have thought of some type of slander, something to mar his name. Like they did with Justice Clarence Thomas. That marred his name. Whether you believed Anita Hill or not, that was a asterisk. That was a besmirching of his name, his character, and it hung over his whole term as serving on the Supreme Court justice seat. That was always a black spot there. So nobody wanted to rally around or rally behind the fact that there was a black male justice named Clarence Thomas because, well, you know, he had them allegations. So, you know, we can't be taken up for him. Because look what he did to Anita Hill. What black women are also not paying attention to is that, first of all, these are nothing but symbolic gestures. It's just, you know, we'll throw somebody in to make y'all shut up and think we really doing something for y'all betterment. Because black women are always lulled to sleep with these symbolic gestures, these just being a token Negro. Yassam boss. And we supposed to be the mammies because we stick up for black men. Because we love black men. So the black women who love black men, who love they people, who love they community, we the mammies. When there's a literal gang of mammies that they trying to choose from to fill the mammy seat, I guess that's going to be a new legacy seat, the mammy seat. You got a small hat seat, you got a black seat, and you got a mammy seat. Because that's all they're going to do. Then let's talk a little bit about one of the three, J. Michelle Childs. Grew up in Detroit. Her father died when she was a teen. He was a police officer. And her mother was a personnel manager for the Michigan Bell Telephone Company. They went ahead and moved down to Columbia, South Carolina due to the crime, in Detroit. So she eventually wanted to go into law after participating in like a mock trial program at the University of South Florida. So she earns her bachelor's from the University of South Florida. And she earned her Juris Doctorate from the University of South Carolina School of Law. Okay? And then they don't say much else about her personal life. They say, okay, she's married to a man named Floyd Angus, which is a gastroenterologist there in South Carolina. No pictures of him nowhere. He is Addie. Why am I talking about her? Because now she's a good candidate because she's easy to manipulate and control. Where is her support system outside of her professional life? So we know her father passed away. So where is her personal support system? Where is she identifying with the causes of black people and the struggles of black people? Where is she identifying with that at? She's a little sheep by herself in a den full of wolves. Just pick her off. Because she gonna want what? Security. She not gonna want to ruffle no feathers to get out of that position should she be chosen for it. So she gonna work hard. She gonna make whatever decisions that she's told to make when the justices have to convene and and decide a case. Which we know Supreme Court decisions are precedents set legally. As the highest court in the land, you don't really overrule Supreme Court decisions. Other courts bring they cases to the Supreme Court for overruling if they think it was unconstitutional or what have you. So she easy. She'll go along to get along. She's super easy. She have no specific connections, but that can play into their hands as well. Okay, well, you'll just do what we say. You'll just be, again, a pawn and a token. You'll be there for the face of it, for the look of it, but you won't have any particular power. You won't have any particular influence or sway in any of it. So where is this real justice that we can look for? Because I don't have any confidence that any one of these candidates will be on that bench and give the American people any justice. This is just lulling black women to sleep again. Again, we must understand the agendas here. Not only are they keeping the narrative alive of black men don't do anything, so black women have to be placed in higher positions of mobility, but also black women thrive. They not merely survive, they thrive without their men. They thrive without them. They don't just survive, they do better without them. Y'all know I got my notes. Thank you, D. I went to the doctor's website and didn't see him. He's black. Okay, good. That'll be one. She probably out of there. Not getting elected. Not getting nominated to that seat. I'll be very surprised. I actually would be surprised if Krueger doesn't get it. They saying Ketanji is the top candidate. I don't know. Them small hats be making their way around. But it's because of these agendas. This is the reason why we're not going to get real justice, because it's starting with the president. He is nominating a replacement for Justice Breyer, not based on qualifications, but based on race and gender specifically. So how is it that, what's really going on? And black women aren't up in arms about that. They just happy that he said, I'm going to, if there's a seat that comes available during my term, during my tenure as president, I'm going to make sure to pick a woman of color. I'm going to make sure to pick a black woman to do that. Instead of saying, I'm going to make sure to pick the best possible candidate for that position, which is what I thought was fair. That's what I thought was equality. That's what I thought feminists told us that they were fighting for. That's what we thought that the liberals were fighting for. Just justice, not supremacy. Not we just gonna disregard all the men, black or white, and we gonna disregard all the other females that aren't black. So all of these other people who have dedicated their lives to law, as lawyers, as judges, get overlooked, not because they're not qualified, not because they're not at the right place at the right time in their career, but because they happen not to be black and female. Then they don't want to talk about that. Somebody bring it up like that man brought it up. He gets shouted down. So how is that justice? I haven't seen anything in any of these women's resumes that gives me confidence that they're gonna provide justice to anybody. Y'all are gonna have to stop falling for this all the time. The banana in the tailpipe, it don't never get old to y'all. That's never old. You never sit back and say, well, what is that really going to do for the collective of black people? Okay. What is that really going to do? Because see, the election of Thurgood Marshall to that seat was historic because of his activism. We knew what he was about. And to put that kind of man in that position was historic. Not only because he was a black man, but because of what he stood for as a black man. What do these women stand for? We know Leandra Krueger don't stand for black civil rights. And the rest of these women, gynocrats, they stand for gynocrat rights, not black rights. So what is that going to do for you? You understand that this is going to be important for any laws that they need passed or any definitive decisions that they need made at the Supreme Court level to legitimize things. And she's going to be a part of that. The token negress. The mammy on the bench. Instead of the spook by the door, you're the mammy on the bench. None of this stuff is done haphazardly. Nobody's running around here appointing people to certain positions without understanding what that's going to mean in the future. It's not haphazard. It's not, oh, this will be fun. Let's elect a black woman to this seat. No. It's not only a token to you, but it's also we can use this to our advantage. She'll be easily manipulated to when we want certain cases decided a certain way. Thank you, Greatness81 said, can you imagine if Trump nominated a Supreme Court justice based on the color of his or her skin? This is illegal, by the way. Racial discrimination. Right. Nobody's talking about that. So because it's a black woman, this isn't supposed to be discrimination against other people? What about Asian women? What about Asian men? They justices all around the country. This why they not taking no time to really pick nobody, because they already got a pre-selected pool of people that they're going to pick from. And nobody sees a problem with that. You just so ready to rally around black woman You don't care how they use you. Let's just call a thing a thing. Black women in general, y'all don't care how this system use y'all. You want to be used by Zaddy. You want to. You like it. You don't care what agenda it pushes. You don't care what none of that stuff is. You just want your name in lights. That's all. That's all that matters to you is your name is on the marquee. You don't care what kind of part you got in the play. Big part, you the villain, whatever the case may be. You don't care. You just want your name in the cast and your name on the marquee. That's it. You never question why. You never question nothing. Banana in the tailpipe. Every couple of years. Then you gonna be mad when she served her term and ain't never did nothing of notoriety for black people. Thank you, Marlon. Biden administration, they just, it's symbolic. You didn't know that? Anyway. This show was brought to you by A-Game, which is a male herbal solution with 21 wonderful herbs and no artificial ingredients. And this is designed to help a man with his vitality, his strength, his energy, and his libido. So fellas, if you want to get on your A-game, ladies, if you got men in your life and you need them on their A-game, all you got to do is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10. All right. And you can have this box of awesomeness delivered to you ASAP. I want to thank everyone for their contributions. I want to thank everyone for lending me your time and your ear. And I want to give a warm thanks to my team, without which this channel would not be. Okay? So thank everyone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.